Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host and the noob. My name is Caliban, and I'm thinking about getting a bowl cut.
Oh my god. We're a couple of magical people ready to Moon Crisis make up this episode. Today we are talking about episode number 158, Pegasus no Himitsu, Yume Sekai o Mamoru Bishonen, in Japanese. Pegasus' Secret, the boy who protects the dream world, the English translation, and the English title, Pegasus Revealed.
Yeah, all right, but I want to get that bowl cut, though.
Why the bowl cut?
I watch, as a lot of people do, videos on YouTube about people in Japan or people who are visiting Japan or eating all the food in Japan, like literally all of it. And whenever I see young Japanese boys or men,
yes,
ABC, BBD.
Yeah.
They have this, what I call the simple jack cut. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They've got it's like the short in the back, and then it's, it's long all around.
Yeah.
It's kind of a page boy, sort of.
Yeah.
Not a page boy for a girl, but like a literal medieval page boy.
Yes, right.
And I don't know why that's hot. I don't understand it.
I don't either.
But, that's what's going on in Japan right now.
That's weird.
Young men are sporting the simple jack.
When I was
in
Japan in the early 2000s, there were a lot of young people and teenagers who bleached their hair, and so it was like
spiky,
this orange.
Yeah.
That was huge then.
Right.
Not so much huge anymore.
20 years ago.
Yeah. I know. 20 years ago.
That's what was hot then. Yeah. Why I don't see a lot of American young men with bowl cuts.
I'm not either. I think they would be like, no, thank you.
Is there an anime or something?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer
now
to that.
I'm thinking, is the kid in Hunter x Hunter? There's some anime where, I'm not saying that this is exactly why people are doing it, but there's some anime where they have like Gohan hair. Like young baby Gohan hair.
Yeah, sure.
No, the kid in Hunter x Hunter's got the spiky hair that I would expect to see in Japan.
Yeah. I'd expect to see
they
spiky
just get Tropic
hair
Thunder?
too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like it. It's weird.
It is weird.
But you're fine with it though.
No, I'm not fine with it. I don't like it either.
I'm gonna get it.
I don't like that there's a bowl cut.
That
thing
seems
going
like
around.
That's what's happening. So I'm probably just gonna get that and just let's call it good.
You're gonna get that?
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about this whole time.
No, don't do that.
Fine. I guess I won't do that. What I will do instead is go to Spotify and read the listener responses to our question, what did you think about this episode?
Yes.
On every episode of our show, if you're a Spotify listener, you can go to the Spotify platform, I suppose on your PC or on your device of choice, and answer the Q&A question that we have for every episode. What did you think about this episode? And today we've got two responses. One from user Ribbon, who says, this is an ad for something else that you can do.
Yeah.
Ribbon says, join the Discord for in-depth discussion about flying bicycles and other vitally important topics. And Ribbon's right. We do have a Discord. It's free. You can find a link to it in the show notes. And we'll absolutely talk about, I don't know, flying bicycles.
Yes,
or whatever.
Absolutely.
We also had a comment from user Cincy Raz, who says, only 9 more episodes of Pedo Pegasus. This season of Sailor Moon is a carcinogenesis. Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
What does carcinogenesis mean?
Something that's carcinogenic gives you cancer. So
okay.
That's a long way of saying this is cancer.
Yeah.
I fully agree. But only 9 more episodes. Well,
so
less than 9.
Yeah.
As soon as we get started on this one.
Yes.
But thank you for your comment, Cincy. And if you want to leave a comment, listener, you can by going to your Spotify page on your app and answering our Q&A question. What did you think about this episode?
Yes. Would you like to give us a breakdown of today's episode?
Would I like to?
Yeah.
Would I like to? I don't like going to my oncologist, but I have to now.
I know.
Because I've got magical dream cancer because of this show. But I guess I'm going to have to. And I have to begin, and we begin in this episode on the face of our protagonist, Chibiusa.
Yeah.
Well, we begin on her profile. And I don't know if it's the angle that we're seeing her at or what, but it really drives home for me how weird anime is sometimes. She's got a little, turned up nose, but they're doing the thing where they use an extra thick borderline around the tip, which makes it seem smaller.
That's weird.
Or sharper.
I didn't notice that.
I guess they do that sometimes. They probably do it in maybe with cheekbones sometimes too. And it's like, you can just draw it smaller.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And her eyes are half the size of her face. And her mouth, and just drawn on. There's no contour of how the head is shaped or whatever.
Right.
And then her mouth, a lot of times they'll draw an anime character or even just a regular cartoon character in profile, or 3/4 is what you see a lot. The Cal art style. And you just draw their mouth on the side of the head that we see.
Okay.
So their mouth is kind of over.
Yeah, sure.
But they split the difference with this full profile and they added the shape of lips on the side of her face. So it looks like she's got two mouths.
That's weird. I did not
And one
notice
is happy
that.
and one is pensive.
Weird.
Which that might be appropriate for this episode.
It might be.
I'm not sure.
Let's
hear what Chibi has to say about her mental state. She's telling us in her voiceover, I'm just a kid after all. And then we cut to this, honestly, abstract montage of images.
Yeah.
We see Mamoru's front door. We see Chibi panting and clutching a Mamoru doll. Uh-huh. Which, it's weird. You never see the Tuxedo Mask doll and the Mamoru doll in the same place. We see Chibi creeping on tiptoes. Actually, we just see her feet. And we see from her POV through the crack of a door, Mamoru kissing Usagi. And we see Chibi's face fall.
Yeah.
And maybe the audience's face fall too.
Oh my God.
She says, I still won't be an adult for quite a while. Chibi, it's not that great.
I know.
Enjoy being a kid.
That's my thoughts exactly.
Cherish it.
For the love of God, cherish it.
We see Chibi walk past the nice couple contest, which is on a big stage.
Yeah.
Oh, is that time already? Seems like it comes earlier every year. And a boy and girl are kissing, and there's something subtle in this scene, but kind of cool. Everyone in the audience is with somebody else.
Yeah.
They're holding hands. There's arms around shoulders.
Yes.
There's hands on butts. No, really.
Really?
They're I put my hand in the back pocket of your jeans.
Yeah, right.
Right? Yeah. And Chibi walks past all this like George Michael.
Yes.
It's like the Naked Gun. See, he's like,
everywhere I look, something reminds me of her.
and then there's the two boob-shaped, towers that go by. I actually saw those towers. What? It's on the PCH. My family was on a California trip.
Yeah.
And we were heading from LA to San Diego. And I don't know, I was playing Game Boy or something like that. And suddenly I looked up and I was like, get me the camera, give me a camera. And I got a picture of the two dome-shaped cooling towers with the red lights on top of them.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was a real thing.
Yeah, it's not a special effect. It's a joke. It's a good joke, but it's also a joke for people who travel the PCH a lot.
Yes.
But anyway, I have that picture somewhere. We see Chibi's little Mary Jane stop, and she thinks to herself, I wonder how Pegasus feels about me.
Uh-huh. Which I'm like, stop.
Okay, so let's just sketch this icky love triangle. If Mamoru had accepted her advances, she wouldn't have a Pegasus in her room? Is that what we're
saying?
She's seen this assignation. It's a good thing she left because we know what happens behind closed doors with Mamoru and Usagi.
Okay, stop
in
it.
the manga. And then immediately she suddenly thinks, oh, where's Pegasus at?
Yeah.
It's like,
I know.
I'm surrendered to it. The only way out is through at this point.
I guess.
We're going to make it. We have to keep going.
Yes.
We cut to the Sakino house where Usagi is studying.
Yeah.
Or studying.
Yeah,
It
right.
might be two syllables. I'm not sure the pronunciation. She's got a cookie in her mouth, and across from her, Chibi is staring daggers into her.
Uh-huh.
Usagi pulls the cookie out of her mouth, and she's like, what? And Chibi says, even though she's like this, she's still more mature than me.
Uh-huh.
For now.
Yeah.
And Usagi's like, for now, you got a time machine or something? You finished with your homework? And Chibi's like, yep. And Usagi says, well, you've got easy math. I wish I could go back to the days when math was easy. And Chibi gets up and black line nose in the air. She walks out. Usagi says, wait, I'll come with you. And Chibi says, I'll go alone. And as they argue about this, we see Chibi's math notebook and the pages flip until we see on the last page a drawing of Pegasus. A police sketch.
Oh my god.
We cut to a puppet show. Wait a minute, is this Utena?
Yeah.
There's a unicorn puppet and a prince riding a Pegasus. And a voice says, a prince on a white horse came riding to the rescue, but he was defeated by the wizard of the forest. And we see an evil-looking wizard puppet and the horse and prince puppet explode.
Yes.
And the voice says, and the princess also died. And we see a princess that looks a lot like Usagi explode. And the wizard died too, and the wizard explodes.
Oh my god.
And everyone else lived happily ever after. We see that this puppet show is taking place on top of a statue in the park and is being performed by Pala Pala.
Yes.
Who is in a showgirl / magician's assistant costume.
Yes.
It'd be like if Zatanna fell on hard times and had to be an exotic dancer. That's what this looks like. She's got a TV-like device where the puppet show is happening, and we see behind it that it looks like she's controlling it with her ball because she's moving the ball and it's like glowing. And our audience of kids is like, that didn't make any sense. Hey,
Yeah.
what was with all the detailed explanations in the first half? And that ending, 2 roses.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Pala Pala is like, everybody's a critic. Hey, look, a candy tree. And when all the kids turn to look, Pala Pala does her ball trick, and she's in her circus togs, and she says, I'll get them all at once. And 24 balls appear.
Yes.
As she does colliding ball, she banks every ball into the backs of the children, revealing their dream mirrors. This is like the color of money.
Yeah.
But sorry, Charlie, none of them are golden mirrors.
The lifetime supply of chocolate. When does he get it?
The killing fields have come to Japan as 24 kids lay face down on the hard concrete.
Oh.
As Paula says, the more I use my special attack, the more likely it'll hit. That's the spirit. We're getting something done here. No more of this one at a time stuff.
Yeah, right.
Paula has good plans. Hey, why not break into the Bob Floyd distribution plant? You put balls in all the ice cream. Kids love ice cream.
Yeah, they do.
When they get the ice cream, wham! You got their mirror. The ball could be the little ball at the bottom of the sugar cone.
There you go.
Right? Get down there, boom,
Yeah.
right in the kisser. Yeah, think about it. We hear, what are you doing? Sailor Moon and Sailor Chibi Moon are here. 4 minutes in.
Yes.
I think this is officially our earliest appearance of Sailor Moon, not counting like the second half of a 2-parter. This is incredible. I feel like they're doing the opposite of Paula's puppet show, I hope. Like no explanation at the beginning.
Right.
We just get right into the story. And hopefully everybody doesn't, die at the end. Sailor Moon says, the dreams of kids who aren't even done with their homework that's due tomorrow. That's good stuff.
It is.
Awesome. And Chibi, not so awesome. She's got to make sure we get the joke. So she says, you're just talking about yourself. Okay, Chibi, keep it together. Okay. Don't Scrappy do this.
Right.
That's like the worst thing that you could say to Chibi.
Yeah, it is.
Don't Scrappy do this, Chibi. I had a cat that we got as a rescue. And when you get like a rescue cat, they just give it a name, probably out of a random name generator on the internet.
Sure.
Because, this cat might be taking a dirt nap in 4 days, right?
Yeah.
And so when we got the cat, they had named him Boots.
Sure.
He was all gray, but his feet were white, so they called him Boots.
Oh, it's cute.
Which is like, it's real clever. And so we called him Blue. a lot more clever. He was Russian Blue, so that's why we called him Blue. But whenever I was mad at him, I called him Boots. When he would like knock over the pitcher of lemonade all over the video games, it'd be nice, Boots. Hey, Boots, are you thirsty? Can I get you anything? Why don't you go take a nap, Boots? I can tell.
Oh my God.
He didn't like it.
No.
I can tell he didn't like it.
No.
Yeah, that's what this is like. Sailor Moon says, shut up. We can't forgive you for trying to get them all in one shot. In the name of the moon, we'll punish you. And Pala says, you again. Can't you be considerate? None of them were golden mirrors. That's like saying, yeah, I killed this guy, but his wallet was empty. Come on. The mirrors all return to the children, and they all run away screaming as Paula says, tell me something. Is love that important? Were we talking about that?
I don't think we were.
Is she reading their minds?
I don't know.
And Moon and Chibi are like, yeah. And Pala says, but wanting to do this, yeah, I want to do that. Isn't that being selfish? And Moon and Chibi look at each other like, this chick's blowing our minds.
Yeah.
And Usagi says, I mean, is it selfish? And Chibi says, well, you saying you wanted to be a kid again because math was easy might be selfish. And Sailor Moon's like, oh yeah, but like wanting to be an adult soon? Ooh, selfish, so selfish. Are we doing what I think we are?
Maybe.
I write these notes. I have notes,
Yes.
but I write them in real time.
Yes.
So you are going to experience with me the highs and lows of what happened.
Okay.
She gets to do easy math, and she's got a huge loft apartment. She gets to make out with my dad all the time, and she never goes to school. I wish I could switch places with her for just one day.
Yeah.
They continue to bicker, and Paola finds it very amusing. She gets out her ball and says, reverse ball! Yes! Yes! Chibi and Usagi begin to glow, and Chibi grows to adult size, while Usagi becomes a prepubescent child. No! No!
I know.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
No, perverts! It's pervert Christmas!
I know.
Es una Navidad pervertida!
No! Dios, por favor, no! 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 No!
Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus, God, no! En un Natale pervertito!
No! Dio, ti prego, no! 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 No!
I wanted a Freaky Friday, but not like this!
I know.
Not like this.
Not like this.
As Usagi and Chibi stand dumbfounded, Paula says, I granted their wishes. Who's the they, Paula? Perverts?
Yeah.
Paula says, aren't I smart? And Chibi Usagi says, I'll show you smart. Chibi, you're Carolon. But Dai Chibi,
Nice.
yeah, Japanese
I get
speakers
it.
get
Yeah.
it, is too busy looking at her ass and titties.
Just
And
like,
just
great.
as I say that, we get an obligatory sexy pan up to the Uranus-Neptune love theme. And this is one of the longest pans of all time.
I know.
Like, she would be 11 feet tall if she was proportional to these legs. Her legs are so long.
How long are they?
Her legs are so long, it cuts when we get to her waist. Because we got to get to that chest.
Yeah, of course.
Это извращенное рождество.
Нет, боже, умоляю, нет! 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 Нет!
As Chibi thinks, I have the body of an adult. Now's the perfect time to boink my dad.
Oh my God.
Chibi
no.
Usagi tugs on Dai Chibi's skirt like a kid in the supermarket. She says, get out your Carolon! And Chibi kneels down, way down. And as she summons Pegasus, she thinks, what will Pegasus think of me now? And I can't believe it. I can't believe I've been waiting 30 episodes to use this drop. But the time is finally here.
Too old.
Chibi gives us a twinkle yell! But Pegasus does not appear.
Yeah.
Too old.
Chibi Usagi is like, uh-oh. And Paula says, you can't summon Pegasus, I see. I thought I saw him at the FAO Schwartz earlier.
Oh my God.
Paula casts Summon Puppet Theater, which is a Mordenkainen's tome spell, I think. It's supplemental content. And she fires a barrage of black balls at the size-switched Senshi. Sorry, I grew up reading Stan Lee comics. The size-switched Senshi. Sensational. The balls become puppets. But like dangerous puppets, like Wishmaster puppets or Chucky
Yes.
puppets. Because I'd rather fight puppets than like a woman who has a machine gun for a tummy or whatever. The Senshi go tearing away from the clanky menace as Paula leaps down from her Light of Hope statue, laughing. But we hear, hold it right there. Oh my God, is it embryo Sailor Moon?
Oh my God.
No, it's the Sailor Senshi. And Sailor Mars says, this is a big show for so early in the day. Yeah, well, it's a student matinee, Ray. You got to do it when the kids are awake.
Yeah, right.
She's not a 10 out of 12. Don't call equity just yet.
Yeah.
Sailor Venus says, we'll take you on. As Usagi and Chibi are still being chased by puppets in the background.
Yes.
Paula says, union break, that's 15, goodbye. And she bawls out. The puppets following the Sekinos vanish as they collapse in exhaustion, but their changed bodies still persist.
Uh-huh.
The Sailor Senshi are glad they're safe, but something is hentai?
Yeah.
See, it's Henten.
Yes.
Hinted at they're in a strange condition.
Yes.
It's strange and unusual.
I myself am strange and unusual.
Back in Chibi's loft, she hits her head on the ceiling when she climbs in. And she is pleased to see that the Pegasus phone is right where it should be.
Yes.
But why didn't Pegasus come?
Too old.
Ready for your next no God no moment?
Yes.
So I guess that palace spell affected their civilian identities as well, which crushes my
Yeah.
theory that the Senshi are different people like Captain Marvel style
Yeah.
when they power up. But Pala didn't change her civilian clothes, making them like adult or at least teenager size.
Yes.
So now she's just literally wearing a schoolgirl fetish outfit.
I know.
Like a sexy Halloween costume with a short skirt and a bare midriff.
Yeah.
Like, why is this all made of vinyl?
Oh my god.
I'm going to try Jello shooters.
Oh my god.
Chibi calls Pegasus to the phone, but he does not respond. Heat's too much right now. As Chibi begins to cry, we flash to Mamoru's place, where Chibi Usagi is explaining that she told her mom that they'd be staying at Ray's place, and here they are. Oh, Usagi, lying. She's lying.
know.
Peter Parker does this all the time.
Yes.
How can I tell Aunt May I've got 6 arms now? You know? Better wear this bathrobe. Mamoru looks like he's still absorbing this, and Chibi looks like she's waiting to ask him if he wants a private dance.
Oh my god.
Mamoru says, okay, this is candid camera, right? Good. That's
Yeah.
it's good. Little dated. But that would be the appropriate bit for this era.
Yes.
He's not going to get punked.
No, that's later.
We cut to the bathroom tub. No! Es ist perverse Weihnachten!
Nein, Gott, bitte, nein! 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 Nein!
Where Chibi Usagi is swimming in the bathtub, something only little girls can do.
Uh-huh.
Depends on how big your bathtub is, but yeah.
Yes.
Becoming a child, so far, so good. While doing the backstroke, Chibi says, Chibiusa, it's time for bed. And we cut to Dai Chibi looking at herself in the mirror, naked.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real born sexy yesterday situation.
Yes.
She thinks, the long arms and legs I've dreamt of for so long. And the girls are looking pretty good as well.
I know.
Sorry. She says, soft breasts in the show.
I know.
I had to punch it up
know.
or I would have had an aneurysm. She says, I'm not a kid anymore, but Pegasus won't look at me. You know, every time we hit what I know must be the bottom of this abyss,
Yes.
this show fires up the drill and just goes deeper.
I know.
I heard whisperings about this season not being good, but people, you don't have to say, the writing isn't as strong. You can just say, Esse pervertido Natal!
Não, Deus, por favor, não! 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 No!
That's not spoiling anything.
No.
A trigger warning is not a spoiler. Trigger
Yeah.
warnings are exempt from spoiler status.
Yes.
I have no idea why people aren't honest about why this is the bad season.
I know. Right.
Like, I've heard, oh, yeah, it's not that great. It's like, are you embarrassed? If you're embarrassed, I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, why not let people know, especially in this day and age when we are more open to letting people know that they maybe
Yes.
don't want to experience this. We did like a blanket trigger warning for this entire season, didn't
Yeah,
we? All right,
I
we're
think
covered.
so.
But the point is that more than ever, you would just
Yeah.
say, it's really creepy and pervy, and I don't think that it's for everybody, and it's hard to reconcile with what I've enjoyed about other seasons.
Yes.
But instead, people are like, yeah, it's could be better.
Could be better. It's not that great. I don't really enjoy
be
it
better.
that much. Probably my least favorite season.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like when, it becomes deviant art, you're like, okay, but I mean, like, this is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
just say it. Why not just say that?
I know. Say the quiet part out loud.
Perfect Christmas.
Yes.
Well, I'm waiting for Mamoru to walk in, and 3, 2, 1. Thank Christ we dodged that one.
Yeah.
The one good bit of taste that the
I
show
know.
has shown. It's fine if Ray walks in on Mamoru and his hog, but like,
Yeah.
thank God. Later, Chibi Usagi and Dai Chibi are in bed, and they still sleep the same.
Yeah.
Usagi is sprawled out, while Chibi is really neatly tucked in her sleep.
Uh-huh.
And in her sleep, Chibi hears the voice of Pegasus saying, "My maiden." Gross.
Yeah.
And the whinny of a horse. Chibi wakes up and runs out into the night in her pajamas.
Yeah.
But maybe she didn't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is a dream.
Yes.
As we see her run on a board between roofs as a blood-red moon beats down from the night sky.
Was it blood red?
Plus, she's in slow motion. That's a dream giveaway.
That's true.
Chibi runs until she reaches the crystalline forest, where she stands, heart pounding. She calls, Pegasus! And she hears a whinny. But looking to her side, sees a herd of grazing horses. Mm-hmm. They don't say anything to her, because they are not catching a rap for their bros' weird obsession. Bros before hoes sometimes means keeping your bro out of the big paddock.
Yeah, right.
Chibi runs over to the horses and says, do you know Pegasus? Is he with another prepubescent girl?
Oh my God.
But rather than get involved in this, the horse crumbles into dust. Peace out.
Yeah.
As does the rest of the herd.
Yes.
Pegasus says, my small maiden. And in the sky, Pegasus materializes in all his glory and alights on the ground.
Yeah.
Chibi says, I thought I'd never see you again. And Pegasus says, I've lost sight of where you are. We've just grown apart. It's not you, it's me. He says, it looks like the light of your dream no longer reaches me here in the world of dreams.
Oh my God.
He leans in for maybe a little pet, but Chibi, remembering the other horses crumbling, pulls away.
Uh-huh.
Which is like in a episode where it's just like, we have no idea what the audience thinks of this.
Yes.
Or I don't know, maybe fingers on the pulse. This is exactly what perverts in 1995 want.
Yeah.
But like, that's a little moment of logic,
Yeah.
or at least emotional logic, that's really weird in the rest of this farrago.
That's so true.
Yeah, because she's like, no, I don't want you to disintegrate.
Yeah.
But Pegasus will not be denied. And he leans in and rubs his muzzle on the back of her hand, which, honestly, guy, pretty simpy.
Yeah.
Chibi eventually returns his affection and throws her arms around his neck, and a stark light spills across them, and Chibi looks away to see a shining light in the distance. Pegasus says, that's the world we live in, Elysian. Chibi says, I want to see it. No, Chibi.
Yeah.
Don't go to a second location. Never go to a dream world with an older guy.
That's right.
If you haven't told anybody where you are. Pegasus spreads his wings and says, hop aboard. And with her on his back, he takes to the air, flying directly into the light, which blinds Chibi. But when she can see again, she looks out over a blasted landscape, pocked with craters and covered by dead, cobwebbed trees. Mm-hmm. Pegasus says, Elysian is a world supported by the dreams of the people of Earth. We see that there's what looks like eggs, like in the webs on the trees.
Yeah.
As Pegasus says, one day they barged in, those who were looking for the golden crystal. We see a flashback of happier times in Elysian, where the crystal forests are populated with friendly woodland creatures. But the tranquility is shattered as a giant big top descends down from the skies, crackling with dark energy.
Yes.
Pegasus says, they're from the new moon, the darkness of chaos, the people of the dead moon. The energy from the big top devastates the land, encasing the creatures and trees in webs. And Pegasus says, if the golden crystal falls into their hands, not only Elysian, but the earth as well will fall into a land of shadows. 30 episodes in.
Yes.
And we got steaks.
I know.
We're finally at Ruth's Chris.
Yeah.
We got steaks. Jesus Christ. Pegasus continues, I've been imprisoned by them. And we cut to a weird, ominous space where what looks like a person with a unicorn horn is tangled up in a net of webs.
Yes.
A dark female voice laughs as she says, now the golden crystal is mine. Elysian and Earth are all mine. She leaves and we see the big FaceTime mirror, so we can guess that this is Helenia.
Yes.
In the mirror of Hall.
Yes.
We focus in on the trapped figure, and we see that not only does he have a horn, but he's got the same face jewel as Pegasus. So this is Pegasus?
I think so.
A red light flashes on his face, and he says, that's when I saw a light, a beautiful light of dreams, the only light left to me. I changed form into a Pegasus and headed directly for that light. Little girls love Pegasuses.
Oh my God. That's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
And I guess not actually trapped all that well. These webs are just for a human, or is he sending out like his spirit form?
It's like his spirit form.
And so his spirit is a Pegasus.
Yes.
Oh, it must be nice.
Yeah.
All right. We see him fly into the light, and then we see Chibi and Pegasus's first meeting from the beginning of the series.
Right.
He says, you were full of light, like a crystal of beautiful dreams. but I can't see that light anymore. Because of your boobs. Your boobs getting in the way.
Oh my god.
Pegasus has landed, and Chibi dismounts. And he says, you had a dream that you wanted to be mature, and you obtained that dream with magic from the new moon. And in the sky, we see the totally black moon rising. New moon rising. Let's not get this confused.
Yeah.
How many moons are there going to be? He says, but the new moon's magic covered your true dream in darkness. Yes, you're a filthy adult now, you dirty girl.
Oh my god.
I mean, what are we supposed to learn here?
I don't know what we're
You
supposed
became
to
an
learn.
adult, but too soon, little girl?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
16, you're beautiful in your mind?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Don't wear makeup yet?
Yeah.
They do
right.
it to themselves.
They do it to themselves.
And what, her dream was to be mature? Is this a new thing?
I think she has kind of wanted it off and on, like, throughout the series.
Other than the general frustration of being, too short to reach the cookie jar, has she really talked about, like, wanting to be...
I don't think she has really talked
All she does is
about
look
it.
at Usagi and be like, ugh, what a mess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't remember, her dreams being full of tampons and mansplaining.
No.
Baby Love begins playing.
Yes.
Although I don't think this scene deserves it.
No.
And Chibi says, true dreams? And Pegasus says, take them back. Your true dreams that glitter with light. Get back into your dad. If you don't, I won't be able to find you again. And as he talks, they seem to be pulled apart from each other in a dreamlike way on a conveyor belt. Mm-hmm. Or the beginning of Bye Bye Birdie. No, not theater kid enough for you? Chibi says, does that mean I'll never see you again? I don't want that. No. And she runs towards Pegasus. In slow motion, it's a dream. But as she reaches the shining curtain of light between them, as she passes through, she becomes Chibi again.
Yes.
And the new moon disappears from the sky. And Pegasus is like, whoa, word? And as Chibi looks at her now oversized pajamas, she says, so baggy. I don't know. Pegasus approaches Chibi and says, my maiden, your light of dreams is something that we need. And he leans in for a horsey kiss.
Yeah.
But when he gets close, he's a dude.
Uh-huh.
A human dude.
Yeah.
He steps back, and Chibi sees a white-haired young man with a golden horn wearing flowing white robes. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's getting baptized at the Mormon Center.
What?
No judgment. I'm just saying. He's just got, weird, kind of quasi-religious robes.
Yeah, you're right.
He says, I'm the one who looks after the dreams of those on earth from here in Elysium, and the one who guards the golden crystal. My name is Helios. And Chibi says, Helios? And she wakes with a start as a now full-size Usagi flops around beside her in bed, saying in her sleep, that hurts! Forgive me, Ray! Chibi hears a commotion outside, looks out her window to see 20 people face down in the park. Their dream mirrors are floating over them, and we hear Pala say, I wonder where the golden mirror is. What? So many, and still no golden mirror? And we hear, hold it right there! The Sailor Senshi are here!
Yes.
All of them! Somehow! Sailor Moon says, toying with the emotions of a girl who isn't good at academics? And Chibi says, toying with the emotions of a girl who dreams of being an adult? And Sailor Mercury says, toying with the dreams of many children? And Mars says, causing a riot late at night and not giving union breaks. While Venus says, tons of rudeness worth 1,000 needles. Knitting needles, Mina?
Maybe.
And Jupiter says, we, the Sailor Senshi, won't let you get away with it. In the name of the moon, we'll punish you. Pala says, oh, you're back to normal. Well, that's okay. To me, my lemur, Pero the candy doll. And out of her shadow comes... well, a terrifying face that morphs into a giant wrapped candy.
Yes.
The wrapper splits open, and inside is a green bunny-eared face who says, hi! As the victim's mirrors return, Pala says, take good care of them. And Pero says, as you wish. She comes flying at the Senshi saying, have some candy! And her cute face becomes a nightmarish mask of horror.
Yes.
As she fires candy balls out of her mouth. We get a Jupiter... oak evolution that smashes the candy in flight. It just makes more candy.
Yeah, I know.
Good try, Jupiter. We get a Venus love and beauty shock that also just makes the candy multiply exponentially. And really, love and beauty, say some nouns for the rest of us. We get a Mars flame sniper. We're using all the new powers. We paid for them. We're going to use them. And once again, the candy divides. And it must be flying very slowly at this point.
Yes.
It's just kind of like...
Watch out!
It's essentially a cloud of candy incoming at this point, a giant wad, and the girls start to retreat. But we finally get a Mercury Aqua Rhapsody that freezes the candy solid, and it drops to the ground. And all the senshi applaud. Pero says, "Oh my, if you'll excuse me for all of that." And I can't believe that I'm still surprised by this, but she poke-evolves into a sexy candy lady.
Yes.
She says, "And now for my next treat." And she stretches out like taffy. Her, midsection goes wow, like Mr. Fantastic. She flies towards the senshi, but a red rose pins her dress wrapper to the ground, and she falls forward, splatting into a candy mess on the pavement. Tuxedo Mask is here. He says, "People who abuse food have no right to entertain others." Okay, I don't know if that's what we were worried about, but good advice. Tuxedo Mask says, "Now, I said now, Sailor Moon!" And we see Sailor Moon and the senshi running back from where they retreated to.
Yes.
They ran really far away, like, okay, great. Chibi raises her Carolon, and with a twinkle yell, summons Pegasus. Pegasus says, "Oh, thank God. I was not looking forward to breaking in a new protege." Sailor Moon gives us the MGM, and Pero stages out for the last time. The battle over, Pegasus flies away, and the senshi watch him go. And Sailor Moon says, "It looks like he's looking at you, Chibi." And Chibi's like, "Yeah, that's crazy." Jupiter asks, "How did you guys get back to normal?" And Sailor Moon says, "It happened while we were asleep." And Omi says, "A small Sailor Moon was pretty cute, though." And Chibi thinks to herself, "Pegasus, it seems like I've gotten to know you a little bit. But was that a dream? Even that kiss? Tell me, Pegasus." And we see once again the horned man in the white robes.
Yes.
Mr. Horny.
Oh my God.
Why would you do this? Permission to treat the show as hostile, Your Honor?
Permission granted.
Why would you do this?
The body swap.
We have to...
thing?
Oh, no. Like, a body swap? That... We'll talk about body swaps. Like, a body swap is like...
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, the Freaky Friday is like the sitcom plot of sci-fi.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But, like, we have been going over this again and again, especially on the Discord, link in the show notes.
Yeah.
About how, look, it's a different time, it's a different culture, yada, 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 yada. And if you turn your brain off and turn all your sensibilities off, it's kind of cute that this little girl, because little girls like horses, but she's got a horse that can talk to her and like help her save the world, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's all well and good. But now we're going to take this child character who should not be sexualized and have her running around naked or in a stripper outfit.
Yeah.
And then also now the horse doesn't like her anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought, maybe because it's in the news or was, but I thought of the Sam Bankman-Fried trial. Why put him on the stand? All you had to do was to pay $1 billion to your lawyers and have them go, look, these are complicated financial instruments, yada, 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 little probation, you can't ever trade again, you keep your house in the Bahamas maybe. But instead they put SBF on the stand and he's like, I didn't know about any of this and it was everybody else's fault and I don't remember and that's it. And they're like, all right, well,
not a smart
you're
guy.
going to jail for 130 years.
Yeah, not a smart guy.
Say hi to Bernie Madoff's corpse.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they've done here. I feel like they have pointed the finger, j'accuse, I don't know what that is in Japanese, right at themselves.
Yeah.
This is the episode that proves, this is the peek behind the curtain. This is that proves what we were saying the entire time, that this is just a weird thing. This is somebody's working something out. And I hope it's not Mr. Ikuhara.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that this does happen in the manga, so you can't.
Okay. Well, it's Naoko Takeuchi's fault then.
Yeah, it's Naoko Takeuchi's
fault. So put a boot on
fault.
her sports car.
Oh my God.
Get her in there. Put her on the stand.
Yeah. I don't.
In the manga.
Yes.
How did you? Were you skeeved out?
I don't think I was at the time because
Okay, well then it's a different culture. It's a different language. It's a
Right.
different audience.
it is.
Maybe a 10-year-old girl reads this and she's like, yeah, it'd be great to have a magical horseman who could do magic for me. Magic style.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but would a parent be like, I don't like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it may have been a little bit different, but it still was like more or less the same. Like they switch places and well, they don't just switch places. It's not a body swap. It's a body change. Like, how would you describe it?
It's effectively a body swap. They keep their
Yeah.
appearances, but
Yeah.
they gain each other's ages or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And look, I'm tired. Should we just skip the rest of the season?
What?
Sometimes I feel, look, I guess this is like a truth and reconciliation
Yeah.
council, isn't it? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like maybe we're doing the good work of pointing out how messed up this is.
Yes.
But sometimes I feel like I'm helping them. I feel like Apt Pupil,
I don't think I've seen that.
who was in the movie Apt Pupil.
No.
Where, is it Brad Renfro? It might be your
I think
guy,
it's
Brad
Renfro.
Renfro.
Yeah.
He's a young kid. He's a bad kid.
Yeah.
You know, he tortures cats. So this is going to turn out great.
Yeah.
And then he finds out that his neighbor, Ian McKellen, is a Nazi who's hiding in Ohio for some reason instead of Buenos Aires. And he kind of prompts the Nazi guy to get back into his Nazi stuff.
Oh my god.
And, you know, it's just like, it's the kind of movie that we'd make in the mid-90s because we had nothing else to worry about.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But basically, it's like this kid helps this Nazi do Nazi stuff, you know? And it's
That's
directed by
great.
Bryan Singer.
Oh,
So
even
I
better.
kind of feel like the show is Ian McKellen and I'm the kid. Or I guess it's like, you know, I'm at Bryan Singer's house and he's telling me to, you know, get the kids in the pool.
Yeah, right.
Like, I feel like I'm enabling this situation.
I understand that. I don't feel like we should skip the rest of the season, but
Okay.
I do get where you're coming from, though, and it is kind of, I don't know, what kind of fatigue would you call it? It's like,
Pedophilia fatigue.
yeah, okay. That's perfect. Yeah.
It's more like questionable situation fatigue.
Yes.
Or it's also like, because this show exists and it airs in America, so nothing's going to happen. But it's almost like, you know, like a lot of old movie references, Freaky Friday, Apt Pupil, and now the old serials where there's a guy in the house and the lady's going to open the door and the audience is like, no, don't open it. You know?
Right.
If that moment just went on for 30 hours, that's what I feel like. I feel like I've got my hand on this door and there's a serial killer behind it and I'm never going to open up the door. If I opened up the door, at least he'd kill me and put me out of my misery. But instead I must sit at this moment where this door with you know, a threat behind it never opens.
Oh my god.
Chibi, tell everybody.
Yeah. Tell everybody.
Well, I guess, you know, Ray didn't tell everybody when she knew the world was going to end. So, all right, you got me on that one, Chibi, but you're a good kid.
Yeah, you are.
Pegasus has
should
let
tell
you, a superhero, know in no uncertain terms the Earth will be destroyed
Yes.
if this new color of crystal isn't found.
Yeah.
So it's time to go crystal hunting.
Yes.
You know, the Sailor Senshi should put on some multicolored ski masks and start
Yes.
hitting people in the back
Yeah,
in
right.
alleyways. Check
Right.
their mirrors.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Sorry about this. Bong. no, put it back in. Okay, you're fine.
Oh my god.
They never remember anything anyway. They're like squirrels. But yeah, it's not good, and I really hate that her dreams are dirty because she got them the wrong way. Come on,
Yeah, I don't like that.
want to talk
either.
about something fun?
Yeah, let's talk about something fun.
I saw the Freaky Friday coming a mile away, but you have
Did
to
you?
remember, I have a very sensitive trope detector,
Yes.
and so I was really excited, and then like the worst
Worst thing
the
possible.
worst thing it could be.
I know.
If she's just in, well, and thus they didn't do anything with it. You know, it's not like I'd expect one day of school out of the both of them,
Yeah.
and one like, oh, I'm gonna take you on a date, Usagi, let's go. And they go to
Yeah.
a movie, and he leans in for a kiss, and she's like, oh, this is probably, wait a minute, this is weird.
Yeah,
Even
right.
though she's wanted that the entire time we've known this
Yes,
character.
I know.
We literally meet her doing this.
Yes.
Kissing her father.
Yeah. My God.
And then trying to make him her slave when she's a black lady.
I know.
That sounded more complicated than it really is. Anime logic.
Yeah. I was reminded of her being turned into Black Lady. So we've had the pan up and everything before as well.
Yeah, but this is like her blackness is on the inside.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I mean, famous body swaps go. There's a new?
I just think of Freaky Friday.
But you think of Lindsay Lohan. I think of like Jodie Foster.
Well, I both of them.
Put it on the graph. But there's a new one, isn't there?
Is there?
I think there is.
Oh.
Something like Ava Longoria or something. If there isn't, I'm pitching it right now.
Okay.
Ava Longoria and Olivia Rodrigo are Freaky Friday.
Sure. I could see that. I think that like I was upset about this to some extent when I was like reading the manga and seeing the anime at first. But I don't think I have to be honest, like the things with Pegasus and everything, I didn't see it as creepy as I do now. You know, I thought it was I think it's super creepy this watch through. I didn't think of it being creepy.
When did they stop the Stranger Danger program?
That's a great question.
Is that still going on?
I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty good program.
I mean,
right?
if I was walking home from the bus stop when I was a kid and a car pulled up and the window rolled down and a unicorn horn came out and said, "Hey, kid,
oh my God.
Want some candy?" I'd be like, "Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't talk to strange Pegasuses. Sorry."
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm not sure what the lesson is. I don't think, ironically, the show is trying to turn itself through magic into something more mature, and yet like a 8-year-old girl in a 16-year-old's body, it doesn't know how to exploit. Relax. The storytelling potential to do the fun bits that you do.
Yes.
You know, Jodie Foster wakes up with her mom's cigarette in her mouth. And she's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, right.
And the mom is eating her gross ice cream. And she's like,
yes.
It doesn't really do anything like that. And it also definitely isn't complex enough to explore the walking, talking Electra complex that is this entire show.
Yeah, I know.
Which it'll never do.
Yeah.
But we do.
Yes.
Over on our Patreon show, Beyond Good and Ava, where we recently talked about the Electra complex.
Yes, we did.
And I think when we did we remember to talk about the character of Ritsuko?
I don't know if we did.
And how she wants to murder her mom?
No, I don't think we have.
Her biggest
talked about
regret
it.
is that she wasn't able to murder her mom before she died.
Oh my God.
There's your Electra complex right there.
I don't think we talked about that.
So anyway, if you want to hear us talk about more anime and psychological and philosophical points as well, you got Beyond Good and Ava on our Patreon. This is more of like the Buzzsaw complex, though.
What?
It's when your daughter dates a bad boy on a motorcycle because she hates both of you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be out with Buzzsaw.
Oh my God.
Man, I wish that she never got reverse balled by that puppet show lady in the park. Is the puppet show lady, is Paula Powell the most powerful? She's casting spells.
She might be.
Everybody else is just like, you know, I have a limo. Wow. Sold separately.
Yeah, right.
But Paula Paula's like, she can make commercial real estate.
I know.
And then in this one, she can Freaky Friday somebody.
I know. That's true. She might be the most powerful of them.
That's pretty strong.
Stealthily.
I haven't seen anybody else knock out 20 mirrors at a time.
No, I haven't either. And she did that with the dentist one. She got a lot of kids too. It wasn't all at the same time.
Right.
But
yeah. They just stacked them like cordwood in the back room.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, Paula, she's my dark horse.
I think, I think that makes sense.
She just gets sick of the crap and she goes to the Hall of Mirror and she's like, all right. And reaches through, grab. I assume you can go through the mirror, right?
I'm assuming.
This has got to be a full-on legend is all over this thing. So
yes.
You go through the mirror, throttles Helenia. She's like, I'm in charge. Queen Paula is in charge now. Now me referring to myself in the third person makes sense.
Oh my God.
All of you relax. This is a matter of inconvenient timing, that's all. Rebooting the podcast was inevitable. This is simply the beginning. I thought I told all of you I want broadcast silence until further...
Ooh, I'm very sorry, Cal. I didn't get that message. Maybe you should have put it on Twitter. I figured since you were relaunching the Just Enough Trope podcast, you might be a little lonely, so I decided to be your co-host.
That's very kind of you. I assume you're our mysterious podcaster. You're most troublesome for a Sailor Moon fan?
Sorry, Cal. Wrong guess. Would you like to go for an all-new show where the hosts haven't really changed?
Who are you, then?
Just a fly in the ointment, Cal. The dye in the hard. The moon and the lighting.
She's talking about the rebooted Just Enough Trope, where we'll dive deep into the pop culture elements that make up your favorite movies, TV shows, comics, and video games. See if she's lying about moonlighting and find out if Bruno has returned.
No, respect yourself.
Miss Mystery Guest, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to sing a duet with me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another podcast host who saw too many movies as a child? Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks she's John McClane, Corbin Dallas, a crooning Alcopop pitchman?
I was always kind of partial to Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler, actually. It's wet and it's dry.
Do you really think you have a chance with this new show, Ms. Co-host?
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Cooler.
Just Enough Trope, 40 stories of sheer pop culture deconstruction. Available everywhere you listen to your favorite shows.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a podcast?
Today for Kyoro Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, we are going to be talking about Queen Himiko.
Casting spells.
Yes.
When Queen Himiko arrived in her giant big top, she laid waste to the countryside.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the connection is. Casting spells.
Yeah.
And there's queens. I don't know what you want.
There's a lot of mirrors in it.
Is it
So
Himiko or Pimiko?
It sometimes is pronounced Pimiko.
I've heard that there is not now, obviously, Hayabusa, Hiroki,
Yeah.
we're good with H's, but like
Yes.
in sort of archaic Japanese, they didn't really have an H sound.
Which is weird because nowadays the H sound is more dominant than the P sound.
Yeah.
Because like
They flipped it.
They flipped it because in hiragana and katakana, if you have an H sound, that's on the main alphabet side.
Yeah.
But like if you give it one of the little, I can't remember the term, but if you give it like a circle by it, then it becomes a P sound. So Himiko, who was alive during 170 or 247 or 248 AD. It's unclear when she died in 247 or 248. But a lot of sources say 248.
It's when was she born?
170.
Okay.
Also pronounced Pimiko and known as Shingi Wao, ruler of Wa, friend of Wei. As a shamaness queen of Wa, yes. It's the Chinese term for Japan at the time.
The Chinese, early Chinese term for Japan.
Yes.
Does it mean like dwarf?
I don't know. They said that the kingdom of Wa is a dwarfish people in the mountainous islands.
Yeah, I read that like they would refer to it's a diss. They would refer to other places as like, oh, those little guys. Like in like Egyptian art, the pharaoh is always like 3 stories tall and everybody else is like,
right.
It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to see the guy from Game of Thrones in a movie about giant pharaohs. It's like, no, they're just saying like he's the most important. That's how they're showing it.
Yes.
And so for the Chinese, they're like, oh, those little guys, oh, they're so cute. Oh,
yeah,
look at
right.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not like actual hobbits or something.
No. Himiko was a shamaness queen of Yamatai, Koku, and Wakoku. Early Chinese dynastic histories chronicled tributary relations between Queen Himiko and Kaowei Kingdom of 220 to 265. And
This is the part. This is like right in the middle of the romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah.
When Wei and Shu,
yes,
and Cao.
Yeah, I should mention that
Jin are all sort of uneasily ruling China.
Yeah, Wei is a kingdom in China,
and Wei is the one that's like the most east. Like it's the coastal kingdom.
So it's closest to everybody. So closest to Japan, I should say.
Yeah, and Korea.
Yeah, and Korea.
Or Goryeo.
And record that the Yaoi period, people chose her as ruler following decades of warfare among the kings of Wa. Wa was the Chinese name for Japan at the time during the Yayoi period.
Yayoi.
Wei was one of the kingdoms of China. I said that, but Himiko occupied herself with magic and sorcery, bewitching the people. That's what it says.
Making them stop fighting.
Yeah.
And
because a woman's in charge.
I'll rule over you.
Yes.
Which is like, do you think well, I'm sure you've got a lot more to say, but I just want to put this question out there. Do you think that her magic powers are a sort of legendary, remnant of the idea of, because almost all, if not all, peoples that we know of have shamanistic roots in their society.
Sure.
They used to, be ruled by, or at least informed and advised by
shaman, magic
men and women.
Yes.
But later on you would go, oh, sorcery bad, because we've got banks now, right?
Yeah, right.
So do you when they call her a sorcerer queen, is it like, she had some good tactics and people are like, wow, she's like a sorcerer, and they've remembered that, or they're like, this she was doing dumb spells and she's a sorcerer queen?
I think it's a handful of both, to be fair.
Because I read that one of the best sources for her was the Chinese histories.
It is.
And
yes.
she's almost completely
100%.
Left out of the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki.
Yeah, uh-huh.
They're like, yada, yada, yada. And then a dude was in charge of everything and everything was great.
Yeah, right.
Which is like, oh, nice, Japan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, China's like, have a mirror.
I know.
Have a badge. You're on our team now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Early Japanese histories do not mention Himiko, but historians associate her with legendary figures such as Empress Consort Jingu, who is said to have served as regent from 201 to 269.
She was like a magic lady, too.
Yes, she was.
Witchy woman.
The first historical records of Himiko are found in the records of the Three Kingdoms, or Sungo-ji, a Chinese classical text dating to 297. And as you said, this is probably the best source about Himiko.
Yeah. I read that she sent that, I don't think they knew a lot about what was going on in Wa because it's just so far away.
Yes.
And also they're like, well, we don't really care about that. We've got Three Kingdoms to do.
Yeah.
But she took the step of sending emissaries to them.
Yes.
Sort of treating them like equals. Give respect, get respect. And was like, oh, well, a good day, sir.
Yes,
we are
exactly.
from the kingdom of Himiko. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Though mature in age, Himiko remained unmarried. She had a younger brother who assisted her in ruling the country.
That's her magical girl power.
Yeah, right.
That's how she keeps it.
That's right.
We know this.
After she became the ruler, there were a few who saw her. She wasn't seen very often, making her more mysterious. She had 1,000 women as attendants, but only one man.
Rolling deep.
Yeah. He served her food and drink and acted as a medium of communication. She resided in a palace surrounded by towers and stockades with armed guards in a state of constant vigilance. Some have questioned if the man who fed her food and communicated with her about the outside world might have actually been her brother.
Yeah, or might have actually been, was there a Himiko? He's like, Himiko says we have Taco Tuesday and Thursday now. Sorry, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's another part of it,
Himiko says
too,
I should
right?
get a raise.
Yeah, right. Is that did she really exist or not? And there's a big debate about that.
A lot of times when you say oh, it's like King Arthur. Well, obviously a lot of our ideas about King Arthur are from, medieval legends and then the retellings of those legends in, a lot more recent times. King Arthur did not have a suit of shining armor. He did not have like a big Gothic castle. He died before any of that came around. But we still think like, he could have been a king who just died before they started writing things down real good.
Right.
But, stories and ideas about him would have persisted, for a long time. And so, yeah, that's like kind of where we are in this part because, you write things down on a scroll.
Yeah.
Unless you're copying that scroll.
Yeah.
You're going to lose that scroll.
I should mention,
Plus, you get invaded by the Chinese a couple times.
Yes.
Everybody sets everything on fire. And it's like, who was the king again? I don't really remember.
I should mention, too, that during the Yayoi period, they didn't have a writing system yet in Japan.
They had cool pots, though.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
They had corded pottery.
Yeah. So that's one reason why there wasn't anything really written down at the time.
Yeah.
Neither of the two oldest Japanese histories, the Kojiki, which was circa 712, and the Nihon Shoki, which was 720, the years.
That's like 8 years apart.
I know.
That's like the volcano and deep impact of like ancient histories.
I know.
One guy's like, he's got to get the press before me. Okay, I got to add some extra appendixes to this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What the hell?
I don't know. Neither of them mentions Queen Himiko by name. The circumstances under which these books were written is a matter of unending debate. And even if Himiko were known to the authors, they may have purposely decided to not include her, possibly to portray the rulers of Japan were only patriarchal.
Yeah, and I heard too that definitely at that time, but then also later, whoever does the histories, the big, British royal family trees or whatever, it was like they're trying to keep that line of succession because they're supposed to be divine.
Yeah.
Which, does it last for 2,000 years? That divine juice. So one of the reasons they want to do this is so like, no, it comes from this, and we're gonna start with like number 10, the 10th emperor. That's the only one that we're worried about. Don't even worry about it. There were 9 other dude emperors before him. We don't care about anybody else. And the legendary figures that she could overlap onto, like a King Arthur, were like, we talked about Jingu, who was the consort and was supposed to be
she was an empress.
Empress.
Yeah.
And supposed to be a magic lady. And then there was...
there's a couple others, which I'll mention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there was the one that was like, my husband's a snake. Did you read about that?
Yeah. I don't have that in here, though.
It ties directly into the origin story of the royal family, supposedly, being descended from Amaterasu.
Yeah.
And so, like her husband was the emperor, but he was the human form of the divine, snake god or whatever.
Right. It's weird. It's weird.
And she's like, I love you so much. Show me your godness. And he's like, well, okay. She walks in on him, and it's like, he's a snake. He's like,
she's like, what?
Oh, you're a snake? No, don't look. I'm a snake.
She freaks out. I know.
Occupied.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Guess I'll stab myself in the crotch until I die.
Oh my god.
Look it up.
The Kojiki and Nihon Shoki are somewhat similar to the Bible. There are stories about mythology as well as actual historic events in them, and the historic parts may be exaggerated or altered in some way. So you kind of have to take everything.
But we might have more
with a grain of
evidence
salt.
for Himiko than Jesus, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, it is another conversation. However, these histories include 3 imperial family shamans identified with Himiko. Yamato to Himo so Ohime no Mikoto. Long name. I didn't make it up.
How did she write it on her paper in first grade?
The aunt of Emperor Sujin, a legendary 10th Japanese emperor who reigned from 97 to 30 BC.
Right.
And daughter of Emperor Korei. And Yamato Hime no Mikoto, the daughter of Imperious Sunin, legendary 11th emperor, reigned from 29 BC to 70 AD.
Her friends call her Hime.
Yeah, right. And Empress Jingu, who reigned from 209 to 269 AD, the wife of Emperor Chuai, excuse me. Legendary 14th emperor who reigned from 192 to 200. These dates, however, are not historically verified.
Yeah, this is all sort of, you know,
and I
in
actually,
the midst of the past.
While I was doing research for this, I was watched YouTube videos that were, some of them were really well done, but and it's actually questionable if like the first 9 emperors mentioned actually existed or not, because they had such long lifespans. Right.
That was them like drawing the curve, then plotting the data. Because they knew the 10th one, we know about this guy.
Yeah.
But there's got to be 9 more.
Yeah.
So just Mr. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
When the truth is, there were kings before there were emperors.
Sure.
And there were definitely regional rulers. And I think in the Kaowei account, they talk, and a lot of times, did she really have 1,000 people? She probably had a lot of girls with her, but not 1,000.
It's
but
like a nice number.
Yeah, it's a nice round number. So they said that there were 100 kingdoms or 100, cities that they knew about in Wa. But were there like exactly 100, or were there like a couple?
Yeah.
Something that I thought was really interesting about Himiko, who practices the oni-do, the way of demons.
Oh yeah.
Is that they're not? She might just be an idea.
She might.
Because I was looking at, some people were, and historians, when they run out of things to read, and there's not a lot of things to read about her, they start getting creative. So they're like, Hiko, does this name itself mean kind of like a woman man or a priestess priest? Is her and then the guy who interprets for her, are they like a double act?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then so other people were like, what about like he, which is like the sun, right?
Yes.
Miko, is she the priestess of the sun?
Yeah.
Is it just that?
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Are we all just jerking off? Like, is there any history here at all?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
One remarkable exception to early Japanese histories overlooking Himiko is in the Nihon Shoki, quoting the Weiji records of Wei three times. In 239, quote, the Queen of Wa, end quote, sent envoys to Wei. In 240, they returned, quote, charged with an imperial rescript and a seal and ribbon, end quote. And in 243, the ruler, in parentheses, king, so I'm not really sure, of Wa again sent high officers as envoys with tribute. It is revealing that the Nihon Shoki editors chose to omit the Weiji particulars about Himiko.
And I don't know how it is with like ancient texts like the Nihon Shoki, but isn't the pronoun game sometimes a little
maybe
iffy?
That could be.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Because there's just like, it's just like this person, a they, guy or girl. You just assume it's a guy. Everybody that rules is a guy.
Yeah.
But maybe they're talking about somebody else.
Yeah, I think so. Scholarly debates over the identity of Himiko and the location of her domain, Yamatai, have raged since the Edo period. The opinions divided between northern Kyushu, or traditional Yamato province, in present-day Kinai, the Nara region, and where both Nara and Kyoto are located.
That's like, I mean, Japan's only so big compared to, say, China.
Yeah.
But that's a big amount of distance.
It is.
You're either, in Kyushu, or like you're all the way over in the middle of the mainland by Kyoto. So it's like,
yeah, it's
but there's so little.
Difference.
I'm assuming there's so little archaeological evidence that they just can't.
There's not a whole lot.
Yeah. And you got to dig up that Kofun. Get in there.
They won't always let
right,
you.
They won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a debate over where her, final resting place is.
It's absolutely 100%. Tsunoda notes that, quote, Himiko is from an archaic Japanese title, Himiko, meaning princess, end quote. That is, hime with the female name suffix ko, or child. The uncommon given name Himiko Other Amaterasu-related etymological proposals for the Japanese name Himiko involve he, son, and Miko, female shaman, shamaness, shrine maiden, priestess, or their combination, Hime Miko, princess, priestess. Yamato Hime no Miko, the daughter of Emperor Sunin, supposedly founded the Ise Shrine, and to the sun goddess Amaterasu. The Kokiji records her as the fourth Sunin's 5 children. Her, quote, her augustness Yamato Hime was the high priestess of the temple of the great deity of Ise, end quote. The Nihon Shoki likewise records Yamato Hime no Mikoto and provides more details. The emperor assigned Yamato Hime to find permanent location for Amaterasu's shrine, and after wandering for years, the sun goddess instructed her to build it in Ise, quote, where she first descended from heaven, end quote.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's always in the first place that you land.
It is. Identifying Himiko Pimiko of Wa is straightforward within the history of China, but problematic within the history of Japan. The 3rd century Chinese Wei Ji provides details about the shaman Queen Himiko and her communications with the emperors of Cao Rai and Cao Fang. The 8th century Japanese Kojiki records of ancient matters and the Nihon Shoki Chronicles of Japan, which quotes Wei Ji, disregard Himiko unless she was the subtext behind the accounts of Empress Jingu, Yamato Hime no Mikoto, or Yamato to hi momomo so hime no Mikoto.
Oh, that kid got through grade school.
I know.
Can I get another pencil? I'm still writing my name.
Exactly.
Do you know what happened when she died?
She died, and they built this kofun, or mounded grave, which was really popular in
so hot.
this time period.
Everybody's doing it when they die.
And the bigger ones, hers was supposed to be like 1,000 feet or something like that, 1,000 meters or something.
I heard that 100 of her servants went with her. So apparently 900 people quit before.
Yeah, yeah. Right. And like a lot of times,
ooh, I got another position somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's really good pay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that.
The really big ones are in like the shape of a keyhole.
Yeah.
And the imperial government has banned, like, you can't like go and excavate a tomb if it's the imperial family.
I heard that the people that she ruled over, wherever this was, after she died, were like, okay, well, anyway, we're going to put a king up there, get him up there.
Yeah.
Got a king. He's a male king.
Yeah.
And the people went nuts.
They were like, no, we don't want this.
Caused a lot of trouble and killed him. And they're like, okay, we're going to get another magic girl.
Yeah.
Bring us a magic
like
girl.
13 years old at the time.
So apparently Himiko's niece.
Yes.
The girl named Iso, I think.
I think it's Io.
Io?
Yeah.
Became the new shamanist queen.
Yes.
We don't really hear anything about her.
No, we don't.
So sequel's never as good as the original. Have we talked about the, I guess, now clear connection between the dream mirrors, the soul mirrors, and the idea of the mirror as being very important to the spiritual history of Japan?
I don't think we have.
The symbol of the sun goddess?
But
well, we just did.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're living it.
And I actually have something on that. Like,
and the good one is a golden mirror.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Is Chibiusa the reincarnation
of Amaterasu? Maybe. Following this envoy,
was Amaterasu bothered by a creepy horse when she was a child?
I don't think so. That would be something, though. Following the envoy, Chinese gave Himiko the distinction of Queen of Wa, friendly to Wei, and a gold seal.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, the seal of approval. Ding. Other gifts given to the queen in return for her contributional gifts of fine cloth and slaves.
Neat.
Yeah. Wei's great power also gifted her Magatama beads and 100 bronze mirrors, which were a status symbol at the time, and some items of which may have become part of the Japanese imperial regalia. We don't know.
Give these out to your friends.
Yeah. Mirrors carry a lot of deep religious symbolism in Japanese culture. Mirrors are associated with the goddess Amaterasu. A mirror is also one of the 3 treasures of the imperial royal family, and it represents wisdom.
And dreams.
And dreams.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah. The thought is that if archaeologists can find 100 mirrors, they would be able to locate Yamatai. However, it's not that simple. I mean, as we talked about...
Indiana Jones. Just go to a tomb. There's 100 mirrors here.
Yeah, I know.
I think we found the tomb of Himiko. Speaking of which, talking about dumb Indiana Jones, Himiko was the subject of the first Tomb Raider reboot game.
I was going to talk about that.
And also the failed
movie.
Alicia Vikander movie,
Yeah.
That had Walton Goggins in it, because Walton, you can do better.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're taking
She
these
was
roles.
the main antagonist in the film, and I think she was just a plot device in the video game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, which is, it's interesting.
Well, it's good for Asian actors getting work.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, as we said before, if you think a tomb is imperial, they're not going to let you excavate it. So there's that. But the majority of these mirrors have been found, these type of mirrors, these bronze mirrors, have been found in the Kinai region. So Nara and Kyoto. But, like, there's like over 500 of them that have been found. So it's not like there's been like, yeah, right. There hasn't been like 100 in one place, you know?
Yeah, it seems silly to look for 100. And it's like nobody ever broke in and stole anything or anything like that.
We don't know.
Like the bronze could be, in your bike or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It's sometimes X does mark the spot though.
Yeah.
To a last crusade on you. Because the legend sometimes does help you find it. The tomb of the Emperor Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of China, was said to have this amazing sort of display diorama that used mercury, like rivers of mercury ran through it to sort of represent the stars and like the Milky Way and stuff like that. It was like this giant map of China and his kingdom, and they found like increased mercury levels in the soil around where his tomb was.
Oh my God.
And then when they got there, they're like, oh, there's like 6,000 terracotta warriors here. I think we found the right place.
Yeah, right.
Now kill them all, Lara Croft.
Oh my God.
Start shooting.
I know. Himiko is one of the supporting characters in the video game Okami as well, a game which draws on many Japanese folktales and myths to tell the story of the white wolf Amaterasu and her quest to free Japan from darkness. So,
which you would know.
Yes.
If you had played it.
I've played it for a little bit. I should continue playing it though. It's a fun game. Queen Himiko contests take place in small towns, offering cash prizes to women over the age of 18 on the basis of charm and appearance.
And magic casting ability.
Of course. One of the earliest of the contests began in Nara. One subject contest, Himiko-kan, takes place at Moriyama City. Asukara in Kyushu also holds Himiko contests during its annual Yamatai Koku Festival of Flowers. So there are quite a few of them around.
Nice. Is she a real girl boss? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, that's
is she a hashtag
how
yes
people
queen?
like that's how people like describe her, that she's a girl boss.
I don't know if the Japanese care about that. I know that, like, as we discover or as we emphasize and not de-emphasize important female characters from history, the thirsty yes queen people, and I think it's positive and I understand why they do it, tend to latch onto them. And so I think about Himiko as like, the Japanese Boudica or something like that. This character who's like, she lived in a man's world, but she's like, we're gonna fight, I'm gonna cast a spell on you.
Yeah.
she's girl bossing it all day long.
Right.
With her 1,000 girls that are in her entourage.
Yes, right.
And so she's kind of a figure like that. But also, if you Google Himiko, you'll probably get My Hero Academia. There's a character named Himiko in that too.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of other references to Himiko or in manga and anime and stuff like that.
I think is it Phoenix? Osamu Tezuka's like 4-part epic.
Yeah.
His intolerance for work that one out, movie buffs. And the first chapter of that starts in like, prehistoric Japan, and Himiko is a character in that.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
And then a robot boy is
my God.
Not today, magic lady.
Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? Usagi eats a cookie while she and Chibiusa study.
Yeah.
We see that there is a basket of cookies and tea as well. At the fight, Tuxedo Mask says, quote, "Someone who wastes food has no right to offer treats." And then the monster is
monster
candy.
is food.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if you eat the evil candy?
I don't know. Do you turn evil?
It's just poison.
It's probably just poison.
She should have had a razor blade inside of her.
Oh my God. Oh, that's dark.
That wouldn't air in America.
No, it would not. Villain gauge, we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. The lemur in this episode is named Pero Pero, the candy doll. Pero Pero means to lick or suck on something, like a lollipop. That explains her candy attack. This also may be why she is such a sexy design. So,
because of licking and sucking?
Yeah.
You said interesting theory. That's just a theory. A pervert theory.
Lemur design, she first appears as a creepy shadow and then a large candy ball in a red and yellow wrapper. She pokes her head out and she has aqua skin, pink hearts on her cheeks, blonde hair, and white bunny ears. Her face turns scary with snake eyes and pointy teeth, purple and pink skin, and a red diamond between her eyes. She transforms into a humanoid shape. Her candy wrapper turns into a sleeveless short dress with a plunging neckline. She is wearing purple bikini bottoms, red flat shoes, and white cuff anklets.
I like how it's not even like it's a wrap. It's like a Ferrero Rocher, or what do they call it? The balls that you like. All right, quick answer, quick.
Ferrero Rocher?
No, the Lindt.
Lindt.
It's like she's like a Lindor chocolate ball.
Yeah.
And so you think like, oh, that turns into her outfit, so it's a wrap or something.
Yeah.
No, she just goes, whoa, and then it's all tailored. It's got buttons and a
I
lapel,
know.
and it's like, all right.
I know.
What kind of weird origami magic is this?
Oh. Yeah, I know. No kidding. And she is also wearing a purple bow tie and a red headband that has a purple rose on it. And she has purple eyeshadow and pink lipstick. She also has a stick with a lollipop on it for some reason. Her rating. I don't love her character design, but it keeps changing, so I will give her credit for that. She creates candy balls, which keep multiplying with the girl's powers until Mercury freezes them. I like how Tuxedo Mask knocks her down to the ground by sending a rose through the wrapper, and she just goes splat and she melts. I'm going to give her 3 out of 5 dark stars.
3 is pretty good. I'm going to go 2.
Okay.
She's a transformer, although a lot of them have been. I think that's kind of cool. I was underwhelmed by her final sexy form. And although I like the, Mr. Fantastic Elastic powers, we don't really see them. Like, she's immediately stopped, so she doesn't do a whole lot. Effectiveness takes a big hit there, I think. And then what's the attack? You just shoot candy, and that gets melted and sticky, and there's just more candy.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just a 2.
Okay. Take a bow or a rating on how our villains left the stage of life. It isn't until the end of this that we see this horrific face on her abdomen, big startled round eyes and an open shocked mouth. And she is crying as she says, I was wrong. Stage auto. So that's pretty good. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought like this was a break from the monotony. And like,
It is.
I didn't know what the hell Tuxedo Mask was talking about, but I think that really affected her.
I think it did too.
She was really hurt by that. That got to her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, I've been ingracious. I've wasted food. And she's got this cool, like, like kind of straining pose, like she's in some kind of agony, or she's regret, and she just definitively doesn't even scream. She's just like, stage out.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
Yes.
And just takes off. So I was in the wrong. Good day. That was different. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked
4.
it too. And now we're up to our rating. I have mixed feelings about Chibiusa longing to be an adult. I get it. I just wish she would enjoy being a kid. When Chibiusa and Sailor Moon's bodies change, I don't like the pan up of Chibiusa's body. I feel like it's sexualizing her. And it reminds me of the scan up of Black Lady, because they did that too.
Right.
I get that her clothes would be too small, but does her shirt have to be showing that much of her midriff? I mean, can we please put her in some of Usagi's clothes before she goes over to Mama's place?
Yeah.
I don't like that Chibiusa says, quote, I always looked forward to when I'd have long, slender arms and legs and a puffy chest. I'm not a little girl anymore, but Pegasus doesn't even notice me.
Why would he notice me?
Yeah, I'm like, gross.
I'm a hot chick. Why can't I be a little girl again?
It's just gross. I don't like how Pegasus calls Chibiusa my tiny young lady. It's just gross. I don't like how Pegasus nuzzles Chibiusa.
You may leave the stand, Mr. Freed.
Yeah, no, exactly. Having a true dream is great, but I don't like that it's basically insinuated that she needs to be a young girl in order for Pegasus to continue hiding in her dreams.
Small lady.
Yes. I don't like that.
Big lady.
I don't like that her and Helios kiss either. I just think it's weird. I'm disappointed in this episode.
I'm sure we'll get into it in the future, but how old is Helios supposed to be?
I don't know.
I'm trying to make this work somehow. There's no way it works. Sorry, just go ahead. Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I don't want not on this show. We'll definitely get there in the future.
I'm gonna give it 1 out of 5 roses.
Whoa! Well, then this is gonna blow you away. Then I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 roses.
Really?
I thought that, pervert Christmas aside, this was a great episode. Maybe it's just because some release. Speaking of Pala Pala and her blue balls, we actually are learning something here, and something is happening. True. And I am a sucker for a Freaky Friday, even though I don't think that they exploited it enough. But the way that this episode opens with an abstract montage of images, that's a very creative storytelling that they use when they're doing their best. I don't mean to plug the entire episode, but on my show, The Duels of the Game, where I talk about Revolutionary Girl Utena, one of the things that I've talked about is that sometimes characters will talk and then they will show you other things. Yeah. And those other things are given context sometimes or contradict what the characters are saying, and they're using the medium that has both sights and sounds to continue to tell the story. And I liked how they just wordlessly sort of told this little story. Now, unfortunately, it's tainted by the fact that it's a little story about a kid watching her parents make out. But, hey, you can't win them all.
No.
I liked the dream logic. I wish that we've talked about this before. I think one of the problems of it having this dumb reveal, they commit to these reveals so hard. And it's like, you could just be telling us this all the time. If we had been building up to the idea that Chibiusa, was sick of being a kid and really wanted to be an adult, this would hit harder.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I like the dream logic of how she gets to the dream world and what happens when she's there and the slow motion running, and I like all that.
Yeah.
We could have been doing more things. When the girls go to the game house, that's a secret computer, that's a VR thing, and they have to play war against the evil game playing bunny Yoma.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing about we're in a computer now. If we're in a virtual world, we have to do this, and there's all these different rules for what they're doing.
Right.
That's cool, and you could do that all the time. In this, they're in the dreaming. There's Morpheus. You could do that, and they do that in this episode, but we don't get it in the rest of the season, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get some more in the future. So I like that. There's some good gags in this. There's some jokes that land really well.
There are.
Usagi's speeches are like, you who would pick on a girl who, look, it's calculus is hard. Like, I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, everything except the horrible, horrible implications, and you will be found guilty and go to jail for a long time episode.
Yeah.
But, man, you looked good doing it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
terrible. I take that back. I'm just going to say 4 roses.
Okay. My English title is Youth Hold On.
Youth, Hold On.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Pat Benatar song.
It does.
From 1984. I love it. Mine is, we're talking about body swapping and Freaky Fridays. So my title is going to be Kinky Kinyobi. Explain what Kinyobi is.
Kinyobi is Friday.
In Japanese.
Yeah, in
This is
Japanese.
Kinky Kinyobi.
Next episode, we are talking about episode number 159, Chibiusa no Chisana Koi no Rhapsody in Japanese, Chibiusa's Little Rhapsody of Love in the English translation, and the English title, Rini's Love Rhapsody.
Rini, great. Yeah.
That's her, American name.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love Rhapsody. Oh boy. Looking forward to that. But, it is what it is. And I guess we shouldn't tease that we're not going to finish. We're definitely going to finish.
We're definitely going to finish.
I will finish when I start.
Yes.
This has become the deathbed of podcasts. I mentioned our Patreon before. Possibly a couple times. So I won't belabor that too much. But if you're interested in the other podcasts and content that we have, check it out at patreon.com/Sailor Noob. I did want to talk up our other podcast, Just Enough Trope, which has returned to production. We've got a brand new episode in our new run or tranche of episodes, examining the tropes in popular media. And this one is about ladies of the night,
yes,
who have good spirits.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, TJ hookers with hearts of gold.
Yes,
and we are talking about the portrayal, whether positive or negative, of sex work in popular media.
Yes,
focusing mostly on movies, and 2 movies in particular: the 1971 classic film Clute. And the 1990 classic film Pretty Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Which could buy and sell Clute 100 times. But not like that. And which one's better? Who can say?
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask and at what time.
Yeah.
But that is available at justenoughtrope.com or at, Just Enough Trope on X if you're still on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be on there for very long, or on your listening platform of choice.
Yes. Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Perfect Christmas!